Thank you for listening to Comics for Fun and Profit. This guy with your sneak peek at next week, episode number 544, where Drew and I will be combing through the comic books coming out on December 18th, 2019. The penultimate week of release of 2019. Before Drew and I get what's coming up in your local comic book shops this coming Wednesday. Drew, what all we got in the world of comics?
Easy for you to say.
Yeah, I'm hacking here.
We got some feedback on our Hoopla discussion, first and foremost, from James Stubbs from Florence County Library System in South Carolina.
Yeah.
James Stubbs. Long-time listener, first-time writer. I'm a librarian. And there's something you guys and everyone else who has it through their local library need to know about Hoopla. Your library gets charged for everything you download. It's not just a bulk payment, but every single time you download it. That's why limits are placed on how many you can borrow at any given time. How much your library pays per download depends upon what the publisher, movie studio, music company, whatever, has set as the fair price. So when you check something out and don't get around to reading it, that's me. Guilty. and then you check it out again, your library has paid for it twice. This is the hell of Hoopla for libraries. Their business model is based on charging for use. Libraries don't work that way. We operate on a fixed budget, so Hoopla introduces an unknown variable into a static system. It isn't fun, and a lot of libraries have been burned for a lot of money because its popularity outstripped the library's ability to pay for it. Now, with all that said, I'm not saying to not use it, but if you do use it, please make sure you let your library know how much you appreciate the library offering it. High-priced services are usually the first thing on the chopping block in a lean budget year, so you letting your library know you like it is your best chance at keeping it going. Wow. Okay, so I did not know that.
So Drew, you're down to 5. You're going to only get 5 at a time.
No, I'm
We're
kidding.
budgeting.
I'm going to change my tune. I'm going to get one at a time.
Okay.
And I'm going to read it. And when it's finished, I'm going to get another book out.
There you go.
I'm not going to get 10 books that I don't get around to reading it anymore. And I did not realize that.
So this is the turning off the faucet while you brush your teeth, essentially.
Yes, which I do not do. So this is good for me. I learned a lesson here, and I put this out there to some other folks on the internet, and there's a different system out west. It's got something called Overdrive, which is a library system in California uses instead of Hoopla, and it is like your standard. They buy 20 digital copies of something. Just like they would buy 20 copies for the shelf. So when those 20 copies on the shelf are checked out,
It turns it off as an option to...
Yeah, you go on a waiting list. And then when it gets returned, then you can borrow it. So they buy 20 copies of a digital item, and when 20 of them have been checked out, then it's gone. Nobody can get it anymore. Unlike Hoopla, where they can get it indefinitely. A million people could be reading the same comic in theory, but from what I'm reading, it would really screw up the library's system because they'd have to pay for the thing a million times. So, sounds to me like Hoopla needs to work on their model.
Why not? It works. It seems to work for them.
Well, yeah, that's true. Unless all libraries end up, changing because they get burned by it.
The market shall dictate.
Yeah.
But as the children of a librarian ourselves, we respect that ability and when
Heck
using
yeah.
that service.
Heck yeah, we don't want it to go anywhere, which is why
I'm
I'm
more conscientious.
Yes, so I'm definitely gonna change the way I do things, and it was really interesting and an eye opener. So
thank you for the feedback. That's awesome.
Yep.
Low
Thank
inside
you,
information.
Thank you, James Stubbs. Let's see. Matt says, I see that DC is reverting and keeping the legacy numbers on 2 more titles after they turn 750, Wonder Woman and Flash, just like they did the Detective and Action. As a long-standing comic fan, I enjoy legacy numbering, but in all honesty, I don't overly care what comic publishers do with their numbering schemes. I don't buy comics for numbers or for variant covers or because a New York Times article spoils a story or any other marketing junk that occurs in the industry. I buy comic books for the characters and the stories. That's all that is important in the end. Dress the book up however you want, but if the story isn't good, it's all irrelevant anyway. What do you think about this?
100% true. If the story sucks, it's regardless. I think having the legacy numbers on there, they really do just kind of click in my brain. Wow, this title's been around for, 65 years or whatnot.
Yes.
So just the thought of, if you wanted to, there is a concurrent 750 issues of this character's entire arc. It's just kind of something that sounds neat in my head. And also it's it kind of prevents them from the artificial number ones in my mind a little bit. If they're continuing with the legacy numbering, there will be less shenanigans with the let's just start another number one. Take advantage, people.
Yeah, for now.
Yeah. 100%.
I mean, I thought we all had agreed. We all voted as comics fans, and we all agreed that we said the compromise was, okay, you guys want to renumber, fine. You can renumber if you want, but you got to keep the old number on there too. Mm-hmm. So it's like a dual numbering system. So you can put your number 1 every time you feel like it, but you also have to keep the legacy number on there somewhere so that we don't lose that. I mean, ideally, I'd just like to keep the old number, obviously. Mm-hmm. But I understand from a retail standpoint, ones sell comics.
You prefer legacy numbering to volume numbering?
Oh, God, yes.
Gotcha.
God, yes. And I, are we going to get a Detective number 1 again? Are we going to get an Action number 1 again? Maybe.
No.
And if we do, will it keep the old legacy number? I don't know. So you think now that they reverted those two, they'll never ever go back?
I think now that you're in the thousands, you stick with being in the thousands in my mind. Even if there's a quote unquote another New 52 type thing, I would think they would continue with it.
Okay, well, Spider-Man just went to 800 and is now back in the single digits again.
But Marvel is the king of... I mean, I have...
Okay, so you say there's rules for DC and rules for Marvel?
No, there's rules for both, but one of them is never going to abide by rules. Because they have their own... Just kind of, that's just the way Marvel is. I mean, I have multiple issues of, I think it was... What is it? Silk, I have 2 issue 1s in the same year. You can't even use the year designation for the issue 1s because they reformatted it twice. It's just how they do.
Right, but I mean, I would think since, you got the Marvel and DC are mainly superheroes and that they could kind of have a gentleman's agreement that we're going to do it the same way. We're not gonna be different, but they don't.
0% chance.
0% chance of that. So DC will be up to 4
Legacy Comics.
And what would be next after that? I mean,
let's see here.
What else is that old?
Is like the legitimate Batman title?
Oh, the legitimate Batman, of course.
Legitimate Superman.
Yes, those 2. Yeah, Batman's got to be getting up there.
Mm-hmm.
So we can do that and Superman and
Green Lantern.
Has Green Lantern been around that long? Maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Basically all the Justice League characters.
Yep. Because we've already got Flash and Wonder Woman. Technically, we already have Batman and Superman, but we don't have their main lines.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, I think that's That's fair, I guess. Yep. And you think once they flip the switch, they're never ever going back.
They should not.
Yeah. I hope not. I hope you're right. That would be fun. That'd be fun to have those big numbers there forever. And that would be the only numbers. And people would walk in and be like, oh, I can't pick up 1,230 of action.
I didn't read the previous 1,229.
Yeah. I would think they'd be able to do something like just great jumping on point, like along the top or something. And that would be enough to overcome. Anyway, thanks to Matt and James for that. You can email us at comicsforfunandprofit@gmail.com with any of your questions or comments on previous shows. You can follow us on Twitter at comicsfunprofit, or on Instagram at comicsforfunandprofit, or on Facebook at comicsforfunandprofit. And if you'd like to give us a donation, we'll have our donation link in the show notes, and you can shoot us a donation on PayPal. It works. Some came in, so thank you very much. It was anonymous. Can't even thank the person. So you leave a message next time. Let's see. Oh, Comic-Con numbers. We got our full November numbers.
Yeah. And we were both wrong.
We were both wrong, yes. So, New Mutants was above 125,000. It was at 138,484 to take the top spot. And the top 4 titles were over 100K. So X-Men, Absolute Carnage, and X-Force all over 100,000.
And then a large drop-off for Fallen Angels.
Yeah, it was a big one, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It dropped right into the 80s, 70s, and by the time we get to the top 10, we're in the 60s.
Yep. Yeah, because we have, Absolute Carnage 5 increasing by over 7,000 from issue 4, which was just under 100,000 at 99. I did not see why 5 would have increased, is why I was thinking that one was under the 100,000.
Doesn't make a lot of sense, does it? That's some good word of mouth, I guess.
Or it could be Marvel pushing out an extra 8,000 just to do this to me. Specifically to me.
Really? They're out to get you?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Just because you're paranoid doesn't mean they're not after you, Drew.
That's true. It's totally true. So as you look down this list, what jumps out at you?
Undiscovered Country by Image, issue 1, 73,000. That had an asterisk because of its returnability, though, but I don't know anybody that was returning those.
No, and that's a pretty good number.
Yes, great things from Image.
I mean, even if it loses 25%, that's Saga numbers, man. That's Walking Dead numbers. Mm-hmm. So, keep up the good work.
There you go.
And it was a solid title.
Yeah, we have both New Mutants and X-Force also having their second issue in the same month, and both of them losing between 49 and 56% as they go to issue 2. And what was it? Where was Spawn at? Yeah, there we have Spawn at issue 20. 302 is the one that comes back down to Earth. Of course, 300, the giant numbers. And then we had really good numbers for 301 as well. It's still keeping 189,000 for 301. And now 302 back down to just above 50,000. We also have Fallen Angels with its second one, again losing the normal 46%.
Down in the Boom area, we've got Folklords, that first issue. Great book. 21,450. Good solid sales from Boom. Fourth issue of Once and Future. Solid seller, 21,000. Something is Killing Children, third issue, 17,000, still solid. So that's good stuff from Boom. Oh, and I forgot about the debut of Heartbeat. It must have been close to the end of the month when that one came out. It was another really good release from Boom. It sold 12,000 copies. I really like that one as well. So, enjoying a lot of the things that Boom is doing. BB Free was it sold 8,000. Its first issue. It was a little weird and hard to follow for me. So I'm going to give that one another shot. But a rare miss for a Boom title to not grab me right from the start.
Was issue 75 of Star Wars the last one before the renumbering?
Yeah.
Okay, because it jumped 10%, jumped 4,000 issues from 74 to 75. Gained just a little ground on the final one for that series. To be rebooted.
Yeah. Looks like Nightwing's still clawing its way above 20,000, which is good, with its 66th issue.
Holding,
yeah. Batman Beyond is below. Aquaman is below that mark. Supergirl's at 18,000.
The Walking Dead Alien, the local comic book shop edition, that we said to go out and get, it sold enough to have its numbers here on the on the numbers here, just above 20,000 on that, making it one of the more rare of the latter Walking Dead books.
It would be the rarest, wouldn't it? Since like it was in the teens.
Yeah, since pre-50, yeah.
Well, how did those one shots sell? Did they sell that well?
Yeah, they all sold pretty well. The Governor, Michonne.
Yeah. Well, I'm not entirely convinced that the Alien is not going to be in print again. I mean,
but specifically, we have the LCS. I reached out for the LCSD edition, so at the very least, it will be different.
It would be a different printing, I guess. But I'm not 100% sold on that. I would need a ruling.
There you go.
From somebody who would make that ruling. I don't know.
I'm not real sure. Nothing's really jumping out at me today. Let's see what we can find. Talked about Olympia #1 from Image for a while.
That was great. That was a great book.
A great book, but only selling 10,321 for issue #1 of Olympia.
And returnable.
And returnability.
Yep. Heart Attack #1 sold 9,500. Also from Image. That was a good one. Enjoyed that. Dead Eyes continues to well, we're not quite to the new material yet. So Dead Eyes is still Dead Rabbit reprints at issue 2. The Lazarus quarterlies. I mean, although the quality is there, as far as the way it's written, the sales did not follow. So taking the long hiatus, moving from a monthly-ish to a quarterly-ish, double-sized, is not paying off as far as sales. We're below 8,000 at this point. But I guess 8,000 of $8 book is better than 8,000 of a $4 book.
Yes.
Right?
Yep, but I, for one, am not shocked by that. I didn't think it would.
You didn't think it would pick back up?
No.
Are we concerned about when Saga comes back?
No, that one I'm not.
It's a different animal?
Yeah.
Deadly Class continues to churn them out. Issue 41 sold 7,000 high-quality copies. That's cool. Good for them. In the 40s.
Yeah, I see Super Dinosaur here has another local comic book shop day.
Yeah.
Version of that book. Nice to see the numbers on those. 3,655. Can't remember if there were any other local comic book shop day books besides this and the Alien. Not seeing any.
That's about all that jumps out at me, unless you've got something else that's really intriguing.
No, that's all I have, sir.
Let's slide over to the FOC then.
Of course, the FOC is our final order cutoff. It's our last opportunity to add a few things to our list, things that we either missed during previews or weren't paying attention to, finally seeing art, caught on to a little bit late, or perhaps found an FOC exclusive. Drew and myself like to comb through and see if there's anything else we'd like to add to our orders before they come in, and we invite you guys to come along. We get our lists of FOC regulated items coming from Eric at Cowabunga Comics, who gives us this nice little list and said, get me anything you want to add to your order by midday on Monday, and we comply. There are links in the show notes if you'd like to get a hold of a list like this yourself, either out of curiosity or need. Drew, let's look at a few of the things that Eric says may be of interest this week. We, of course, have things without titles. Looks like we have the Detective Comics $1 book. We're looking at Undiscovered Country 3 here. A new Guardians of the Galaxy title. Iron Man 2020. Venom. And another X book. So let's dig in so I can see what the actual titles of these things are. Let's try and see if there's anything we can find in Dark Horse.
Well, I'm looking at Airboy here, and the reason I was looking at Airboy is because I really like the Airboy that 4-issue Airboy that came out a little while ago. By my mind is blank. Dang. I loved it. And I've lost it now. I lost that thread. Oh, James Robinson, right?
There you go.
That was a James Robinson book. And this is not. This is Chuck Dixon, who is this is Airboy 51, and it's picking up where Airboy 50 left off 30 years ago in 1989. 1989 was a good year.
Mm-hmm.
Young Drew with the long flowing blonde locks. A hell of a mullet I had in 1989, man. But anyway, this is not the same Airboy as the James Robinson one. So this is the original, and I don't know if I would like that as much, but
It's $10. Moving on.
Oh, it is $10.
Mm-hmm.
And is this like just because it's such a big deal that he's coming back to it, and that's why there's all the covers?
Well, it's the publisher is It's Alive Comics, so I'm guessing that's their margin.
Man, you're really down on us.
My apologies. I tend to be pretty even keeled on these things.
You did tell me to start in Dark Horse, and I didn't realize that wasn't a Dark Horse.
I didn't either.
Book.
I didn't have a publisher on it until we sit there, but I was with you.
Yeah. So Kyle passes. I was curious. I'm not curious for $10.
Correct.
Good call.
I've got nothing in Dark Horse, sir.
Thank you for talking me off the ledge.
That's what I do. Basket Full of Heads is just past its halfway point at issue 4 of 7. If you're continuing to read that one, I think 3 comes out here in the next couple of weeks. And that is an awesome, awesome cover. Cover A. Not as big a fan as the Becky Cloonan B.
Batman Curse of the White Knights on its 6th issue still continues to be solid. Goodness.
And Batman, of course, we've switched creators on this title, so if you're wanting to jump into the Tinian verse, it was the previous week and this week, so not too late to continue to grab those if you wanted to.
We have a Detective Facsimile edition for $3.59, which is the first appearance of Batgirl.
Yep.
This is a good key comic to own. You probably don't own it. And you probably never own one in this condition anyway, so get the Facsimile. This will be a fun one. I think when they do these keys like this, I love it. When they do something that's like, yeah, okay, but I can get that one pretty easily. I don't understand it. So this one is a great one. Great idea.
Completely agree.
And I do like the dollar comic Batman Adventures number 12, which is the first Harley Quinn. That's pretty great. Yeah. That's pretty great too. I think I gotta get one of those for 60 cents with my Kawa discount. That didn't catch on. That's never gonna catch on, is it?
Keep beating that drum there, brother.
Kawa bundle. So yeah, both of those I think are, you know, I'm not talking about new stuff. I'm talking about old stuff. But that facsimile and that Dollar Comics Batman Adventures 12, both good to have thrown on a wall if you do wall books like I do.
That is all for me in DC, sir.
So they're looks like IDW is going back to the well with another Ghostbusters volume.
Yeah. Well timed. We just got the trailer for Ghostbusters Afterlife a couple days ago. I surprisingly think that looked really, really good. It is essentially The Force Awakens, but with the Ecto-1 instead of the Millennium Falcon. But looks very good.
Is it funny?
There was very little humor in that trailer we saw. But it's Paul Rudd, so I'm sure it'll be humorous.
Oh, it's Paul. Is it? It's guys again?
Yes, it's 30 years after the events of Ghostbusters. The world has not seen ghosts for 30 years, and a sleepy little town uncovers I think it's Venkman's grandkids. Go back and visit. It's a really good trailer. I highly recommend it. It looked pretty cool.
So they could still be alive and make cameos.
The ones that aren't dead. Harold Ramis is dead, so he's not coming back.
You could Weekend at Bernie him.
We can Weekend at Bernie him, or we could Princess Leia him. But, I believe the old men have signed back on for at least some sort of cameo from it. So.
That's cool.
But yeah,
so we could pretend like Ghostbusters 2 and then the all female Ghostbusters didn't happen.
True story.
We'll just forget about those and we'll just go from the first one to this.
Yeah, I believe the second one still happened, but this just takes most of the storyline of what happened in, I believe.
It wasn't good either, though, right?
I cannot remember a darn thing from 2.
I can't remember anything from it either. So, Are we out of IDW?
We are. I'm just looking at a few things, but yes, we are done. I didn't know what. I was looking at ROM, but no, we don't care about ROM.
Is it first issue of ROM?
We have a ROM Dire Wrath #1.
Oh yeah, ROM's old school.
Yes,
I missed that completely.
Old 1980s ROMs that you bequeathed me.
Forgot about ROM.
Yep.
Huh.
In Humanauts Part 1 in 1969, 2 American astronauts became the first humans to set foot on Earth's moon, but they found something inhuman waiting for them. With ROM, the Space Knight, nowhere in sight, can even the Earth core help prevent one giant leap for Wrathkind. Plus, find out where ROM is in a special backup story.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
There are ROM fans out there. That might do well.
There you go.
I'm not one of them, but that's cool.
Undiscovered
Countries on its 3rd issue. We talked about the sales for the first issue. We got the second issue going into a second print as well. Solid book. Top-notch creators put top-notch creators on a book, and it's not bad usually. So that's the way to go.
Safe Sex #5. Jen Hickman taking over art now.
From who?
From
Doesn't say.
Other lady.
Like I think but one of the creators on this book is actually a sex worker.
Ah.
Like they're legit cam model, porn, prostitute, something like that.
Gotcha.
And then but also comic creator, which is kind of cool.
And it is Tina Horn.
She is. She is a sex worker? Is that what you're saying?
Tina Horn is a nonfiction writer and journalist whose work investigates sex workers, queer identity, kink communities, and cultural criticism.
Doesn't sound like she's a practicing sex worker, though.
Yeah.
So has Spawn been revitalized, or is the luster fading now that we're past 300?
Like I said, it jumped back down to just about 50,000, so it's coming
starting
back
to
down
slide
to earth a little bit, yeah.
And do we think those are just sitting on retailers' shelves, or think people are actually buying this?
I think people are actually buying it. A lot of people were like, let's celebrate the 300s of it all and everything.
I remember this
from
the 90s. Okay, we got a new. If we're ready to go down to Marvel,
Yep.
we got a new Atlantis Attacks miniseries. Greg Pak, one of your boys.
Hey.
It's a pretty nice little fighting cover there. That's right. We're relaunching Guardians of the Galaxy again.
Mm-hmm.
This time with Al Ewing. I think I'll give it a shot, even at $4.99.
Oh yeah.
I'll give Al Ewing a shot from the beginning. He did some interesting stuff with Immortal Hulk,
Mm-hmm.
and so I'm gonna give him a chance.
There you go. Looks like we have a very interesting version of Guardians of the Galaxy as well. Trying to figure out who all's on this team.
There's an Iron Man 2020. That's a Dan Slott book. It's gonna have a cover with fluorescent ink cover. If that does anything for you.
Yeah, there's also a Gears cover, all kinds of covers.
Also interested in going back to check out Jessica Jones' Blind Spot #1. It's a 6-issue miniseries. Kelly Thompson's taking the reins again. She did a really good job on this digital series of Jessica Jones. There was 2 of them, I think. And I think it might be those digital series being printed. Oh, okay. I think I may have already read these. But they were good, guys. They were good.
Black Cat Strikes Back from the Gamerverse.
Okay, we've got some True Believers. Criminally Insane Dracula #1. Criminally Insane Gypsy Moth #1. Criminally Insane Mandarin #1, and Criminally Insane Purple Man #1. So these must be like their introductions, their various books.
Yeah.
So it's some old reprints.
Yeah, it's not introductions because, the True Believers Criminally Insane Dracula #1 is reprinting 1972's Dracula 24.
So yeah, it's some kind of first something, I'm guessing.
Maybe it is the first.
Or maybe just a story that features them predominantly.
Yeah.
That could be. But an interesting thing to package.
Yeah, definitely.
This is coming out on the 15th of January. I don't really understand the timing, but okay, it's cool. That's cool.
Web of Venom, Good Son #1. Zach Thompson's writing this. While Venom's away, the children will play. Dylan Brock and Normie Osborn have survived the trials of absolute carnage. What's next for the Goblin's child and the son of Venom? Of course, I remember it was a big deal when Normie Osborn was out as the Red Goblin son or whatnot.
Yes. It was a big deal. A hot deal for a while. Now not so much.
Sit down and see what Boom has to offer.
There's some of the books I've been reading. Folklords, Ghosted in L.A., Heartbeat, Once and Future.
6th issue of Once and Future, yep.
Red Mother. All good books.
Yeah, Boom is hitting on all cylinders at the moment.
Yeah, doing some really good stuff. Nothing in Dynamite for me. I'll probably shoot down to Aftershock just to touch base on Bad Reception, which is feels like it's a little delayed. Been a while, but it's been good. I'm looking forward to. Hopefully, this is how it ends up.
Bad Reception, a September solicit, so yes.
Oh yeah, yep. Dark Red's been good. I like that a lot. And I stopped reading Knight's Temporal, and but I do read You Are Obsolete and like that a lot as well. So Aftershock's still working for me really well.
That's it.
Yeah, I don't
I
see
got
anything in
nothing else.
Titan, nothing in Oni. Zenoscope's not doing it for me. That'll do it for the FOC.
There you go.
Now, usually we would have our cover price top 10. I just checked, it's not updated yet, so we'll try to touch base with that next week. And instead, we'll just go straight in.
Do you want to talk at all
to
about our end of the year stuff we're gonna do, our categories or anything like that?
Oh, yeah. I mean, are we going to... I mean, it's just going to be ours, right?
Okay.
We're not going to do that for any...
But Drew and I are compiling our best of 2019 lists.
Yeah.
We
And
are.
that'll be next week or the week after. Last week of the year, right?
Yeah. Yep. But
So
feel
not-
free to send in kind of what your best of 2019 is, be it artists, series, publishers, or books.
Yeah, so in 2 weeks we'll release our year-end wrap-up best of collection on the 27th, which will be dropped on the 28th. So yeah, right at the end of the year, and just hope nothing. Yeah, that would do it. That would cover everything.
I think so.
Yeah, nothing can happen on the 29th or the 30th, or the 31st.
That's right. All right, let's head over to previewsworld.com, find our new releases, find the penultimate Wednesday, or December 18th, and let's start where we love to start. Let's start with some image books. If you're into Rocket and the Old Guard, we got a new story out with Old Guard Force Multiplied at #1. Soon to be a major motion picture, starring Charlize Theron.
And Hardcore's back for another volume. That's cool. Got an Outpost Zero. Also feels delayed. It's been a while.
Mark Millar has Project Christmas, or Project Xmas. We do not have any other information other than written by Mark Millar.
Well, this is the one that was The Secret.
Still is.
So wait a minute, it's coming out Wednesday, and still nobody knows what it is.
Yep.
But it's you know you can get a quietly cover. You can get a quietly black and white cover. I mean, that's what you got to do, I would think.
Mm-hmm.
There's Safe Sex with art by Michael Dowling on issue 4. So before, who did you say took over? Jen Bartel?
Uh-huh.
Somebody like that?
Yes. Yeah, she took over.
That's it in Image. Quit texting. I can hear you.
I'm being texted. Let's head on down to Dark Horse. Skull Digger and Skeleton Boy #1. Jeff Lemire. But he's not doing the art. He's letting Tulsi Zonjic do the art. Crime, corruption, and violence with the heart of the city at stake. A vigilante rises in Skull Digger.
Huh. Yeah. I was thinking, when I first glanced at that, I saw Skull Kickers, that Jim Zub book. I was like, nope, that's not it. Interesting.
Yeah.
There's our return of Harrow County. Exciting to see that come back. Should be fun.
Very much so. All right, let's head on down to IDW.
Narcos #1. Ryan Ferrier. The guy that did Dave.
Okay, that's right.
Yeah. But this is based on a Netflix series, so that's always not sure about that. Got long delayed 3rd issue of Mountainhead. John Lee's and Ryan Lee. I've kind of forgotten what happened in this book. It's been so long. I remember liking it, but it has been a while. And that's what happens when delays happen.
When things don't come out when they're supposed to come out.
Yeah, people just forget. And I am no different.
There you go. Wellington #1 of 5, Aaron Monkey and Delilah Dawson writing this one. From Aaron Monkey, the creator of the Lore podcast, comes an amazing new supernatural thriller that shines a light on the mysterious and monsters lurking in the shadows. Meet the Duke of Wellington, one of England's most decorated military heroes, and unknown to most, her most daring monster hunt. The secret history of the Iron Duke begins here.
We always root for podcasters.
Yeah.
They're the best people in the world.
Absolutely. Interesting. We have a Star Trek motion picture facsimile edition from IDW.
Okay.
So they are doing a blast from the past, it seems. All right, I'm heading down to DC. Talked about Basket Full of Heads. There's issue 7. Or issue 3 of 7, my apologies. The last Doomsday Clock, sir. 12 of 12.
And the last Tom King Batman.
Yeah, oh my.
Same day. Crazy.
The final showdown. Not even going to read the solicit because it's a spoiler.
The Doomsday Clock is?
Yep.
Or the Batman?
Well, I mean, if you haven't been reading it.
Yeah.
We also have the 3 of 3 for Harleen. The last of that DC Black Label.
What do you think about that the way they do those with those 3 oversized prestige format books?
Awesome. Do more.
Do more? You like that?
Yep. Give me more Black Label stuff. Give me more prestige format stuff.
They're expensive.
Yes, they is. Joker Killer Smile, 2 of 3. Of course, Jeff Lemire.
Did you already mention Lolo Woods?
Did not.
Yeah, another Hill House imprint book. Which I've liked all of them so far, so keep that up. Hopefully this one's good.
There you go. Suicide Squad #1, written by Tom Taylor.
I'm in.
Looks like we got Deadshot. Looks like we got Harley, King Shark.
Normally, don't like team books. Normally, don't like Suicide Squad books.
However,
I will read this and I'll give it a full arc. I'm not going to, be the old Drew that, not for me after 1. I'm going to give it the full arc because Tom Taylor deserves my respect. And he's earned it. He's earned it because he's awesome.
And if you're buying this, Francisco Martina has a dope cardstock variant. Worth $1.
Who is that?
Martina?
Who's on the cover?
Oh, we got Harley, we got Deadshot, we got King Shark.
Oh, that's King Shark back there. Okay.
He's the one that looks like a shark.
Well, it was like there's like all these things blending together. I don't actually like the cover as much as you do.
Oh.
Obby. We're halfway through Jimmy Olsen, 6 of 12. It's been a fun little series.
Year of the Villain, Hell Arises, #1. James Tynion writing that. DC's Year of the Villain begins its sinister conclusion. Oh yeah, here's this Wonder Woman Dead Earth that I'm really interested in. Because Drew, you and I always say we are done with post-apocalyptic, right?
Well, I don't think we ever said that.
Yeah.
Well, it's you like it because it's $7.
I don't like it because it's $7. But you're giving me Black Label. I do like Black Label. I do like post-apocalyptic.
You like oversized formats?
I can. I'm not against it.
Not again it.
I'm interested in it.
Yeah, I don't blame you.
Oh, it's a
Looks
4-issue.
pretty
I
good.
said 3-issue, a 4-issue series. Yeah.
Looks pretty good. Who's the writer again?
Daniel
Warren Johnson. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
See?
Murder Falcon.
Yeah.
Murder Falcon, I forgot. I mean, I don't know how he gets a Black Label book after one series like that, but well, he's done other stuff. I don't know what I'm talking about.
Down to Marvel.
Well, I got one more question about the Year of the Villain stuff.
Sure.
I've kind of ducked most of that.
Yeah, I don't think you missed much.
Has something really interesting been going on with it?
Not really. You're the villain. I mean, we've got these cool characters in the Batman Who Laughs and all these infected people and all these dark multiverse people. So it's been fun to watch them just kind of play with their toys. But it's nothing that I think actually has any long reach.
Good.
Or anything. So
yeah, because I've kind of ducked
it's just
them.
fun to watch, these heroes and villains kill each other. Down to Marvel.
We got 2099 Omega because we had Alpha not that long ago.
Oh, that's true.
With Pat Gleason cover and Nick Spencer doing the writing and Gerardo Sandoval on art and interiors.
I do want Doctor Doom to hit hard and do something cool because he's the guy I'm banking on doing something in the MCU soon.
What? Because you have what?
No, just because I think it'll be good.
You think it's the next one?
Mm-hmm.
Got another 2099 appearance in Amazing 36.
So, Revenge of Cosmic Ghost Rider #1, written by both Dennis Hopeless and Donny Cates.
Okay.
Oh, actually, okay. So it's written by Hopeless and a brand new short story from Donny Cates and Jeff Shaw.
So kind of like these little True Believers collection that they're doing now. They're kind of interesting. Just pulling some appearances out of back issues and reprinting them. It's kind of fun.
Mm-hmm. We got another Star Wars. We got Rise of Kylo Ren #1. So we got the fall of Ben Solo leads to the rise of Kylo Ren. Just in time for the movie.
Yeah, usually their timing is not great.
Yeah. Some nice little True Believers here. Super Skrull. Moondragon. Alright, let's head on down to some of our smaller. Let's start with some Dynamite here, so we can find anything in that.
Probably not.
Heartbeat #1 going to a second print for Boom. And 2 having its ones come out. You liked Heartbeat, didn't you?
I did. I liked it a lot.
Klaus, The Life and Times of Joe Christmas. Of course, Grant Morrison, Dan Mora. We get a little bit more Klaus every year, so that's cool. Of course, it's an $8 book, and at least it'll look good.
But it does have an FOC bingo variant.
Correct.
So if you FOC'd it when you had the chance a few weeks ago.
There you go. Here we have Once and Future 5. We talked about 6 being available on FOC, and here's 5 coming out this coming Wednesday. And let's see what all the small little guys have in the back.
Black Stars Above. That's interesting. Second issue. I missed that first issue somehow. That's a Lonnie Nadler book. Jenny Cha doing the art and the cover. It's got a good look to it. But it's about a... Eulalie is faced with an impossible decision: return home to a family that has forsaken her, or finish her journey to the northern town to deliver this mysterious package. She must decide wisely, for threats lurk behind every tree, and the snow has an appetite of its own. Looks cool. Looks cool.
Drew, I'm very skeptical. We have Gung Ho #1, from Ablaze Comics. Ablaze proudly presents Gung Ho, a spiritual successor to The Walking Dead.
What?
In the near future, the White Plague has almost completely destroyed humanity, and civilization is only a sweet memory. Europe as a whole has become a danger zone, where survival is only possible within towns or fortified villages. Enter orphan brothers Zack and Archer Goodwoody, troublemaking teens who have just arrived at Fort Apache and about to learn the hard rules of integration into the colony.
And there is a homage cover, the NGU cover C.
Yep,
that's an homage cover to was that the first compendium?
Yeah, compendium
cover?
Of trade one for Walking Dead. Yep.
That's a pretty good call. That could be something.
Yeah.
There's a void.
There it is.
Nature abhors a vacuum. So that's definitely a possibility.
Money Shot number 3 from Vault. Tim Seeley.
Visitor, that's a Paul Levitt's book from Valiant. Don't get much out of those.
That's all I got, sir.
Yeah. Man, I'm torn now. I thought I had it. I thought I knew exactly what I was doing, but now that's Gung Ho threw me for a loop.
There you go. This is the point of the podcast where I'm going to ask Drew what his pick of the week is. What's the one book he wants to make sure he picks up, make sure he has, doesn't miss out on, because it is going to both increase in value and become the next key he's going to need. Drew, what you got for me?
I'm going to go with Project Christmas, the Mark Millar book, and I want to go with the Quietly cover because
they're convincing you based just on their the fact that we don't know things.
It's Mark Millar
Uh-huh.
and Quietly, and it's probably going to be a Jupiter's Legacy sequel, I'm guessing.
Uh-huh.
But if it's not, and it's a new IP from Quietly and Millar, then I'm interested. I'm interested, and I think it can be something.
Very nice, very nice. Well, while Gung Ho also intrigues me, I feel like I might be being led on a wild goose chase on that one by them.
Gotcha.
Telling me that it's Walking Dead-like and knowing that I'm still hurting inside. So I'm going to just stick with Wonder Woman Dead Earth number 1.
Good call.
Even at its stupid price point of $7.
And I guess I'm going to go honorable mention to Suicide Squad.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, but make sure if you're doing Suicide Squad, do that other cover. Yeah, cardstock's awesome. All right, well, thank you guys for listening to myself and Drew as we go through one of our last sneak peeks of 2019. We thank you for tagging along with us. If you have picked something up in this week that you want us to know about that we missed out on, drop us a line in any of our social medias and let us know, or through our Gmail account. If you agree with us, we always like to hear that you think we're correct, or if you've done the same thing, taken our advisement, and maybe even made a couple bucks. We'd love to hear that kind of thing. Write into us, be part of the podcast. We'd love to hear from you. So for Drew and for myself, see ya.